We'll be starting in 1 minute more.
इधर
Hi everyone, this is Gurtej, AccioJob team, and I'm welcoming you all to our masterclass, How to Build a Career. And today's special guest with us. So can you just mute that audio?
one second.
Hi everyone, this is Gurtej from AccioJob team, and welcome you all to our masterclass, How to Build a Career in Data Analytics. Today's is 5 years of experience. I guess there is some glitch. Just guys, wait for 1 minute. After that, we'll be starting.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry for the technical glitch. I hope we are very much visible to you guys. Can you just give us a thumbs up? Right. So just to give you an idea, guys, today we have Mr. Mukesh Jain with us. Mr. Jain is somebody who has been in tech field from last 25 years, right? You can ask him anything and the man knows it, right? So you have with he is with us. He has given us that much time. So thank you so much, Mr. Jain, for that. So Mr. Jan has worked in the past with organizations like Geo and Microsoft, and right now he is the CTO at Capgemini. Right, he has been working in the data field from last quite a few years. Right. So today, for the today's masterclass, Mr. Jan will be giving you a brief. Will be telling you how you guys can build a career in data analytics. Right. If you have any doubts, of course, you can pin them in the comment section. He will be taking them all. If you have any other questions which you feel are related to our course, we will also be floating the form. You can fill it up and you do not have to worry. Right. So I'll give the platform to Mr. Jan. He will be giving his brief introduction and we will be taking the workshop here on. So welcome, Mr. Jan, and here to you.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be on this platform, sharing some of my experience on analytics and specifically how people can build career in data analytics. So thank you for having me on this call, and thank you all for taking out these 2 hours from your Sunday afternoon. my experience has already been talked about. Currently, I am a Chief Technology and Innovation Officer and also have a global head of innovation responsibility at Capgemini, focusing on artificial intelligence, machine learning related work. 27 years in the industry, had the fortunate for to work on large scale products. So some of the products which you are already using it, like Outlook, like what you are already using it, probably Geo, some of those things were. I was at Microsoft 13 years back. I joined Microsoft. I was 23 years back, and I was there for 13 years. I had the honor to write Microsoft's first ever artificial intelligence project in 1999. I know some of you were not born at that time. After coming back to India, in the last 10 years, I've been teaching at IIT, IIM, a bunch of places, and also work for Geo and a couple of other companies. I'm on the board of advisors of a couple of them, and I published 2 books. In each one of the part, I always was looking at how do I make it easier for people to use data. That's it, right? Be it from the education perspective, be it from use cases perspective, and some knowledge perspective. My journey started 1999 when I finished my graduation, finished my engineering, and I was using C language and all, working in companies in Mumbai. When I was looking at it, how I can automate certain things. I was actually creating rules, business rules based on the data, how I can use the data, how I can do some sort of software and all. C language was the savior for me because that's how I was able to get a job in Microsoft US after about 4 years. And then I worked there, created first ever AI algorithm, a lot of analytics and all. And if you're using any office product, chances are that you are touching some of the work I've done, some of the code I have written there during my tenure of 13 years at Microsoft. Data driven innovation. And that's what I started doing. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the solution, but the main purpose is how the analytics is helping the career. I'm going to emphasize those part a lot more on those part. But the important part is the linkage about data to a solution. And that is what I'm going to emphasize on. Now, also, after that, in 2006, while I was still at Microsoft, started realizing that Microsoft is losing business to Google. Then jumped into that area, even though I was not part of that area, which is online, internet, and so on. So I started building those as well, predictive model and all this fundamentals were data. Okay. Then after that, I moved to Microsoft India, and then I worked for areas which is about how I can build a data culture and essentially use that for making it more and more useful for people to use data. And finally, now at Capgemini, future of data is what I'm focusing on. Let me start with a brief background. I'll let you read this slide. This is very true. From whom you get advice. There will be a lot of people who will give you advice. Your friends, your 1, 2, 3 years senior person, all these people will give advice. But I always recommend people to take the right advice. You can take advice from your friends, which movie to go to. Do you go for Pathan, Tiger Fir Se Zinda Hai, or you want to go for Shehzada? You can choose those parts. Yes, your friends can give you advice. But when you're talking about career, when you're talking about which course you should do for getting into data science career and all, take advice from the right people. That's the only recommendation. I'll tell you the story. It was sometime in the month of February 1998. Yeah, about 25 years back. February, one of my friend's brother got a job in Intel in US. 25 years back, wow, the person is getting a job in US, amazing, right? I asked my friend, what it takes to get a job in Intel or Microsoft? Google, Facebook tha nahi wo time pe. He said, Mukesh, forget it. You can never get into Microsoft. I said, why not? Mukesh, first of all, you're not done masters. Yes, I have not done masters. You're not from IIT. I am not from IIT. You don't know this. You don't know your English is poor. He told me anything and everything which was there. So what was it? Mental block. I can never get into Microsoft. Then what I started doing was I started getting more books. I started reading because that time internet was also not there. I started learning a lot from books. And come September 1998, I applied for Microsoft. I was going through some other websites and I see a place, apply for a job in US. Click, which company you want to apply? Of course, Microsoft. Why should I reject Microsoft? Let Microsoft reject me. Apply. Couple of interview calls. They called me to Seattle in US, face-to-face interview. And I went there and I clicked. The learning I had, the things I learned through the books, the things I was trying to solve the problems and all, even though internet was not there, but enough journals, materials was available for me to learn. And I was able to crack the interview at Microsoft and I joined Microsoft. Had I listened to my friend, I would have never got the job in Microsoft. So one first learning for you in this session is you have to skill yourself, you have to upskill yourself to make it easy for people to apply, take you for the job. वो कहावत है ना हिंदी में, व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना, आगे कुछ नहीं आता मुझे, ठीक है, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना, which means you make yourself such a strong person that you will be able to get a good job. I think we all should focus on those. You focus on the skilling part of it, you get the job. And yes, at the same time, there's another phrase which is called jack of all trade, master of some, not none, some, which means you get more understanding about all the things, and then you are expert in one of that, like a T shape. Okay, and then you getting those parts, especially in the junior days, you need to be able to do a lot more, especially if you want to get into startups and all. There's no set role. You do it, you do well, you get the jobs. This is another learning. I just want to make sure you understand this before we go deep into this session today. Okay, where do you want to go? Classic area, right? Where do you want to go? If you don't know where you want to go, take anything. That's fine, perfectly fine. Take anything. But I know some of you know where you want to go. Okay, so decide on those parts. So it should preferably it should take you where your heart lies, and that's my strong feeling. If you do it what your heart says and you're getting a good job, you'll be amazed to see your passion will be there. You will not even feel like you're working. That's why it's important to know where you want to go first. Why analytics? Why data analytics? Why now? Right? I'm sure each one of you have touched or used any product which uses data analytics or not. Okay, I want you to write down in the chat window your area where you have seen or used any product where it is using data analytics, artificial intelligence. Yes, you can use ChatGPT, but don't, because everybody will put ChatGPT. That's not enough. Talk about some specific example which you have seen or heard or used in data analytics, artificial intelligence, any of them. Put that. Sorry, Ramya, I cannot speak in Tamil. I will try to continue to speak in English. If I use Hindi words, I will convert that into English also. Okay, I will talk about career. So Google AdWords, Jay Bharadwaj, you are right. Google AdWords does use analytics a lot. Excel, Snehal, Excel is a tool to get analytics. Excel doesn't use analytics by itself. Instagram, definitely Rahil. It definitely uses a lot of analytics. And I'll give you some specific example of Instagram, how it uses it. Okay. YouTube itself, lots of data. Aman, you got it. You got it 100% right. Let me go focus further on this. Good example, by the way. Example, please keep coming those. Definitely, I'm referring to your live YouTube sessions also. Okay, enough of YouTube. I think all of you have put YouTube already. Let's go to the next ideas. Okay. Users have choice. We all have choice. Think about it. When you want to book an Uber for, let's say, going to a railway station or to airport or to a friend's place, and you open that and it shows you like this. How many seconds are you going to wait? Put that in the chat window. I would like to do a quick experiment. When the app is not loading, how many seconds do you wait until you kill the application? Okay. You can put that in the chat window. How many seconds you're going to wait? And while that is happening, I'll take a sip of water. Okay. Jay Bharadwaj, 3 to 5 seconds. Aman, 3 seconds. Meghna, you have a lot of patience. You are waiting for 10 seconds. Ravi, you definitely have a lot of patience. I need to learn from you. 20 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. By the way, 10 seconds, 5 seconds is the wrong answer. Huh? Always wrong answer. You cannot be so perfect. Exact 5 seconds, exact 10 seconds. It need to be a little bit more precision. 3 to 4 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds, 29 seconds. Amit, you are giving a good answer. 29 seconds. But you have a lot of patience, huh, by the way. Okay, short attention span. Yes. 30 seconds is a lot of time, Kushi. I don't think you will wait for 30 seconds. 7.2 seconds. Try it out. I can guarantee you will be a lot less than 7.2 seconds. Especially looking at the current thing, we have less patience. We try to do things faster. We want the response to be faster. We don't spend a lot of time on those. So what happens when you're trying Uber? You see this thing. After 7.2 seconds, you kill it and then you go to another. This is the average. Some people have less patience like me, and some people have a lot more patience like I saw 30 seconds. A lot of patience, by the way. Kushi, you have, right? So a lot of patience people have, they will take slightly longer. But you kill the application and go to the another application, Ola, or phone a friend or something else. Why? Because you don't have any patience. Because your expectation is anytime, anywhere, on any device, things should just work. Right? Data. Now, if I'm not collecting the data, I would never know why the person killed the application. Would you agree? And let me give you an example. About a year back, I was returning from Paris. I had Paris. I did not go just for sightseeing. Okay, I was there for a meeting. Capgemini host, headquarters in Paris, so I go there regularly for meetings, not necessarily only to see Eiffel Tower. So I went there. I was coming back. I land in Mumbai around 2 p.m. To say 2 a.m. 2 a.m. I land tired. I try to book Ola, and I see the price was very high. Then I go to Uber, the price is even higher. Then I come back to Ola, the price have reduced. So I book Ola. Uber was some 700 rupees. Ola, I book it for 400 something, and I left the airport. Within few minutes, I get an SMS from Uber saying that you tried to book, but you did not book. Imagine it's 2 a.m. in the night. I'm tired. I'm just looking at my messages and all which I missed during my flight and all. And I get an SMS that Uber, you tried to book, you did not book. Yeah. Can you give a feedback? A small link for feedback. Sure, I'm always ready for feedback. I click on the button and I provide feedback. And only one question asked: why you did not book the Uber? Your price was too high. It was taking too long. Your baggage did not arrive. You went with your friend. Some other reason. Price was too high. I selected. Press the button. Submit. Within 30 seconds, I get another SMS. Sorry for the inconvenience. Within few seconds, another SMS. This is a 300 rupees coupon for you for your next ride. I say yes. Just by giving the feedback, just by telling them I got 300 rupees coupon. But have you thought about how did Uber know that I left the airport? Right? The Uber application was there. I booked on Ola. Uber cannot know that Ola cannot know what Uber is doing. But Uber, my application was on. My location was moving. So Uber came to know that location is moving at a speed which means Mukesh is in a vehicle. It could be anything. But Mukesh is no longer taking the vehicle because he is outside the airport perimeter. So that's why probably we have lost the business. Let's ask Mukesh why we lost the business. पूछने में क्या जाता है? In English, there is no harm in asking. So the third point, analytics to understand usage and innovate. So they tried to understand what's happening and they were innovating. After a few weeks, again, I landed in Mumbai from some other destination. I tried to do the same thing. I did not get 300 rupees coupon, right? Because they had enough information. Maybe they don't want another information, right? Important part to learn here was how can I understand how the person is using the product? How can I understand what is happening? And accordingly, I can innovate. If I innovate better, definitely I'll be able to give more service, better service, and then get the higher engagement from the user. Yes, we all talk about data privacy and all. I was part of the Niti Aayog committee when they made recommendation on data privacy also. I'm saying if you're not comfortable, do not sign up for any free services. No data will be given. But do we have options? I don't think so. Right? So be careful about what personal information do you share and only keep it that way. Don't share everything because yes, sometimes personal information might be challenging. But yes, most of the providers and all, they take good care of the data, so you should not be worried about it. There's a growing need of data-driven innovation. The example I'm going to talk about, it will be surprise you that whatever you're doing, you get some examples, but you'll be surprised to know anything and everything we do, there's a lot of data which goes into picture there. And of course, organizations are competing on analytics. Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, there are pretty much doing for everything. You're trying to compete on analytics with data. And that's where the jobs in data become more important. That's where the demand for people with data analytics skills is huge. Mind-boggling. I'll show you the live data from LinkedIn today, and you'll be surprised to see how much requirement it is there in the industry, especially in India. Of course, across the world also, there are a lot of requirement, but you get an idea. Now, I'm bringing a very old slide in front of you. This is a very old slide. What does this slide talk about? Kano. Kano was the scientist who suggested that there are 4 types of expectation user have. This is the old slide, by the way. 18-year-old slide. 18-year-old slide. This was the phone. Your parents probably have seen this. Some of you are experienced on this call. You would have seen this phone. I still have this phone in one of my archives. This phone, what is the purpose of a phone? Even today, what is the purpose of the phone? send and receive phone call, right? As simple as that. Yes, that was the expectation. That's a must-have category called must-have, which is I should be able to make and receive phone call. As simple as that. But at the same time, there are more in Hindi or dikhao, Amazon ad. In English, show me more, give me more options. The more part, better coverage, better memory, better wing, more cameras, all those things are more, which means you want more and you will never be satisfied, but you want more. And then the bottom part, which is your dissatisfier. Yeah, the phone is good, but the charger is bulky, it takes too long to charge, blah, 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 blah. That's your dissatisfier on your left side bottom. But at the same time, there is delight. Like, wow. 18 years back, if you can do email on the phone, that was a big wow. Wow, you can do email on the phone? Now it's no longer there, right? We don't even ask that question. We don't even say it's smartphone. We just take a phone and we expect anything and everything to be available on the phone. What Kano suggested, over a period of time, all these three, the more, the dissatisfy, and the delight become must-have. So the delight which was there, you can have a camera on the phone or you can have MP3 on the phone, is now a must-have, which is it is expected that you have those part on the phone as a must-have part of it, right? So which means if you do not innovate, if you do not embrace what is happening around the globe, if you don't have enough data, you will be outdated. Okay. Now you also know we all take decisions. You all have taken decisions to join the school, colleges. You are taking decisions to do some courses so that you can upskill yourself and be ready for the jobs. When taking the decision, sometimes the decisions are made by people. So I'll tell you, when I moved back to India, I was taking decision which college my son and my daughter should go, my school should go. And then my son and daughter, which college they should go. I was relying on some of the data to see which college, how they are performing. But at the same time, in the corporates, sometimes the decisions are made by Hippo, highest individual paid person's opinion. When I created this, when I was at Microsoft, people used to laugh at it, people used to make fun of it, and sometimes people used to get annoyed by this. What does that mean? Hippopotamus, which means sometime on the table when we are taking decisions, people take decisions because I think so, because I'm sure about it. The customer will never do this. I'm making my own judgment without knowing what the customer really want. Today, on the session, I'm going to talk about some of the examples about how people have taken decisions, okay, and how things were taken based on the data. Now, why are the people taking decisions like this? Because either they don't have data or they don't have data analysts who can help them, who can coach them, who can guide them what is the best way of doing this. And that's how some of the decisions are taken, right? Now, let me show you some examples. So this is a long list. I'm going to cover each and every element so that you are very much clear about when I'm talking about data, what does that really mean, right? And I can tell you, you have touched in almost everything, by the way. First one, which position the ad should be shown? I was happy to see some of you mention about advertisement, Google ads, AdWords. Some of you mentioned about YouTube, which means you are knowledgeable. You are aware of how advertising works. Now think about it. When you are doing a search, let's say Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is paying you 8 rupees for the ad. Domino's is paying you 5 rupees for the ad. And let's say McDonald's is paying you 4 rupees for the ad. Now your question is, which ad are you going to show? Obviously, someone who is paying more. Pizza Hut, 8 rupees, right? But what about this? If you use data, you'll be able to find out that, hey, I'm showing an ad to Mukesh. I know Mukesh doesn't like Pizza Hut. Maybe Mukesh like McDonald's. Show the ad of McDonald's, even though we're fetching less money. But Mukesh, there's a high chance of click so that we can get all full 4 rupees rather than a small fraction of that. Probability of the click. So if I use 3 parameters, one of them, of course, is the money. We always want it. Second parameter is probability that Mukesh is going to click, right? And the third parameter, how much ad we have to show. For example, when McDonald's come to Google or Microsoft or any Facebook or Instagram or anybody to publish an ad, they say, hey, take this ad, give me 10,000 impression. 10,000 impression, or I mean, show the ad for 10,000 times in period of 1 week or 5 days or 1 day, whatever that could be. So we know which one is, what is the run rate, and I'll be showing that enough or not. So if I took all these 3 combinations, I came up with a formula called P-click. In Microsoft, we were able to show the right ad. Our ad revenue went up by 42%. How? Because I was using data. Rather than blindly showing the ad which is fetching the highest money, I'm showing the ad which is more relevant to Mukesh because Mukesh will click on it. 42% more click, right? Which means we are getting more and more value based on the data. Now let's look at the second point. I'm sure each one of you, by the way, Pizza Hut, Domino's, McDonald's, Ola, Uber, nobody gives me royalty when I'm using their name. The only reason I'm using their name, which means you can relate to those. Okay, you can relate to this, and then you're using the application, you will know how they are using it, and that's why you will be able to remember that well. And this is exactly the data analytics things which people are using it, which I want all of you want. I want you to know and remember. So let's take out Ola, Uber. I'm pretty sure each one of you had an experience when you are trying to book Ola or Uber, and it says no vehicle available. Okay, now imagine you are a data analytics person, you've gone through the course and everything, and you are now data analytics person, and you have some experience, just let's say 6 months doing data analytics. Now you are part of Ola or Uber, and the manager comes to you and say, hey, you know what, we are having this problem, we need to decide which are the people whom should we give the Ola Uber. Example, there are 20 requests from your location going to multiple places in a city, 20, but there are only 10 vehicles possible in the next 20 minutes. Only 10 vehicles. In that case, there are 10 people who will get the message, sorry, we could not find the Uber for you. The question here is, how are you going to decide which person to get Uber? I want you to write your answers in the chat window so that I can take some of the answers and give you more details about those. So question is like this, from the same location, 20 requests are there, but there are only 10 vehicles available in the next 20 minutes. So it's not like any vehicle coming in, all of them are calculated already. So 10 people are going to get a message, you are not, sorry, we don't have Uber for you or Ola for you. How are you going to decide which 10 people? Okay, I see already some people may spitting. Okay, some people are putting some answers. Okay, good answers. Fine. So I'm going to give you some perspective how it was there. So first one is the answer which gave by Ravi, somebody who is nearby. Excellent answer, outstanding answer. Why? If a vehicle is 5 minutes away, if the vehicle is 10, I'm just taking some rough numbers, 10 minutes away, 8 minutes away, 2 minutes away, the probability of cancellation of 2 minutes away, of 10 minutes away or all is all different. The probability of cancellation which is very near is low. It's not zero, it's low. But compared to probability of 10 minutes away, there are times when I'm leaving from my home. So by the time I leave from my home, go till the entrance of my home, it takes me 6 minutes. Sometimes, okay, fine, let me book it. And I book it and then boom, vehicle is available. Yeah, no, I'm not ready. I need 6 more minutes, so I might cancel it. So only few cases I'll cancel, otherwise I'll take it, right? But if I'm here on the main road, waiting for Uber, and it says after 12 minutes, what I'm going to do? Switch application, go to Ola and book there also. Ola is coming 7 minutes, this is coming 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay, fine. I got Ola, second one get cancelled. The probability of cancellation is high as the time increases. So yes, Ravi, your answer is correct, whichever is nearby. Previous record, Ram, definitely good previous record. But what if I was a new user, right? Who is paying more? Amit, I would have taken your answer 100%. But also think about it. If I'm going from point A to point B, which is going to take 2 hours in Ola, let's say, or Uber, and I'm going to get 600 rupees, compared to other person who's going from point A to point C, which is going to be 1 hour, and I'm going to get 500 rupees. So I'll think maybe the 500 rupees is better, even though 100 rupees less, but my vehicle will be free after 1 hour. I can take one more customer and I can make more than 600 rupees. Okay. Who is the regular user? Tushar Sharma. If that is the case, then in that case, the new user will never get Uber. So definitely, I would love to take the answer, but I cannot take the answer. Somebody who is ready to pay more. Ninad, I don't think that there option you can do bidding live. I'm going to give you more. Live bidding does not happen there. And there are cancellation charges. Aman, yes, I agree. I do pay cancellation charges once in a while just for convenience fees. I think you got and all the answers are correct. There are 37 different parameters they analyze. That's why it takes almost 1 minute. 37 different parameters they analyze to find out which person should get vehicle. And the biggest one, which none of you mentioned, is in the destination area, what will be the demand after 1 hour, 2 hours, whenever the vehicle reaches the destination area. Imagine if I know after 30 minutes, after half 1 hour, after 2 hours, which area, how much is going to be demand. Using data analytics, I will be able to know that and say, hey, you know what? These 4 vehicles are going in this direction. I know after 1 hour, there'll be high demand in that region. Let me prioritize these 4 vehicles so that I can fulfill the future demand of that new location, compared to just sending the person in this way where there is no future demand. Even though I'm making more money, but I'm not making wing, the person will be ideal and the driver may not be happy over there. So I need to do a combination of that. It's not a single answer, simple answer. It is a combination. And you can add other factors like people going to hospital, people going to airport, people going to school. You can make it a little bit more spicy by putting all those parts. But the bottom line is, can I get more value for my time? Can I get more value for my time for the Uber driver? The vehicle is available for 24 hours max. 3 drivers, 24 hours, 8 hours each driver, assuming they are following the rules of India. 8 hours. So I want to maximize my money in that number of hours rather than just having one person who is paying me 1,000 rupees and after that I'm idle for the whole day. I will not like that. Okay. I see a lot of you have put this point. There's point. Aman, thank you. Now let's talk about the next one. Which video to show next? And this is the interesting one. I want to see how much of you can give the answers there. You might have observed when you go to YouTube, you get 7 different recommendations, and sometimes 8, but normally 7 different recommendations. Looking at a historical thing, looking at a lot of other things and all is data analytics. It uses data analytics to be able to understand what is the next best party we need to achieve. And there are some advancement, also some artificial intelligence also used in future. But if you don't have data analytics, artificial intelligence is not useful for you. You have to have data analytics first as your starting point, as your fundamental. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. You got a brand new laptop. You open the laptop. You are not signing it on Google. You are not signing it on YouTube. You are not doing any of the activity. No email, nothing. You go to youtube.com, enter. What recommendation do you see? I want you to write down in your chat window. You go to YouTube, fresh machine, new machine. You connect it to your home Wi-Fi. And what recommendation are you seeing it? Okay, anybody? Okay, sign in. No, you get recommendation. Location wise, Aman, perfect answer. Yes, you get location wise information. You get information what are the videos on in the current location which are popular. Good answer. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. You see recommendation, you like it, you don't like it, doesn't matter, right? You go and type Dabang, the movie Dabang. You type Dabang, Hindi movie Dabang, and enter, and you see a couple of options, and you select the movie, and you watch the Dabang movie on YouTube. Dabang movie, we all know what movie, who are the actors, and so on. So you finish the whole movie, it's done. You close your YouTube, you close your laptop. Next day morning, you come again and you open the laptop again, and now you go to YouTube again. You are not done any other activity. You are not deleted the cookie. You are not deleted any. You are not done anything else. Now you go to youtube.com. What recommendation should it show you? Put that into the live chat. Okay, I see some options. Bollywood movie, Dabang. Dabang you already saw. Salman Khan. Aman, were you watching because of Salman Khan? I thought you were watching because of Sonakshi Sinha. Okay, Jay, you are also watching because of Salman Khan? Okay, I thought Sonakshi Sinha it was. Amol, you too? YouTube does not know whether you are watching because of Sonakshi Sinha or somebody called Salman Khan. YouTube doesn't know that. YouTube looks at 144 parameters which are there on any movie content and then try to understand you could have watched this movie or content based on any of these reasons. And based on that, it will actually come and show you the recommendation. And yes, one such recommendation is based on the actors. Another recommendation is based on Dabang 2, Dabang 3. Another could be based on what other people have seen. So if I have seen those, my data shows Mukesh have seen Dabang, Mukesh have seen Tiger, Mukesh have seen Tiger Zinda Hai, Mukesh have Tiger Fir Se Zinda Hai, and Pathan Banga Tiger. All these movies I have in my profile, in your profile. If I have thousands of people, I will see what is the common movie people see after they see Dabang. Okay, Dabang, they might see Tiger Fir Se Zinda Hai, right? So then they will see those parts, they will do the collection and make that recommendation. Yes, Salman Khan could be the common one. Now look at the recommendation part. Okay. Now recommendation part, if you see on e-commerce site, recommendation comes anywhere and everywhere. Sometimes recommendation is considered as sponsored. Sometimes recommendation comes as advertisement. But what is recommendation? Amazon.com US website. Amazon.com US website books section. 65% of the books sold on Amazon is because of recommendation engine. What is recommendation engine? We talked about one recommendation engine just now, right? The Bung and Tiger Zinda and all those movies. Recommendation engine gives the person that if you are buying this book, you can buy this book also. If 65% of the books are sold because of recommendation engine, how many books are sold just because somebody has searched for it? 35%. 35%, 65%. You go there to buy one book by doing a search, you end up buying three books. So one book, 33% roughly, 35%. Two books, 66%, 35, roughly 65%. 200% more business. No wonder all these companies are hiring data analytics professional because they know that they'll be able to make more value out of it. That's what the beauty of data analytics is. And then yes, you will be learning more and more about those. How do you make recommendation engine with data analytics by using some other technique like machine learning and AI? The foundation is data analytics. Supply chain, logistic, right? When to do what kind of logistic, right? The temperature is going to be very high this summer. No, sorry, not summer. This weekend. Okay, if this weekend temperature is going to be high, let us talk more on ice creams. Oh, this is going to be more people traveling. That let's plan for this kind of things in that. The whole supply chain part, the whole demand planning, everything can be done based on the data. People use that. And my favorite, when should I release a movie? Right? As you saw, when Pathan was released, when was it? 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks back. When it was released, there was no other movie released last week, no major movie. Why? Because they knew that Pathan is there, so no point releasing. So the whole planning about the movies and everything also is done based on data. And also I want to see which state, which city, which pin code I should release the movie. So all this combination makes more and more important. Okay. And last, of course, why are people leaving my application, right? So I have app, and I see a lot of users, and suddenly I see a drop in the number of users. Then of course I will not be happy around those. So number of users are dropped. So why are people leaving my application? So looking at those from data perspective, I'll be able to find out. In India, normally some of those applications which are small and random in nature, the dropout rate is 95%. Some of the applications taken as is so high, dropout rate is almost 2%, 3%, only very small number. So yes, these are some of the things can be done and understood by data, and then you can give them the best perspective, best understanding. That is the decision taking, right? So now why I'm calling it decision? So data as a starting point for people to take decisions. People will get those data, they'll take decision, and you're not becoming hippo. What does hippo stand for? Highest individual paid person's opinion. So you're not saying that you're hippo, you're using the data and then making decisions which are more informed. Okay, now what are the opportunities? Okay, so now any area you take. So one of you asked the question, Suvarta, is Capgemini hire people who are coming from non-tech background? They build skills in data science and have certificate? Yes, Suvarta. Several people we hire, both from technical and non-technical background also, because we always need people who have experience in non-tech background, which could be subject matter expert in manufacturing, in life science. We always look for people. But yes, you are coming in with your domain knowledge expertise plus data plus something else, right? So that's how you will be able to get those roles. All the jobs are available on the portal as well. Now opportunities when we think, right, each of the area, again this is a very small list, right? So let's start with marketing. When people call me, sir aapko personal loan chahiye kya? I said, come on, you are not even using data. Look at the data. Am I the target audience for the personal loan, right? They are doing clustering. They're blindly doing clustering and then sending them SMSs and all. So they definitely are not using the data. And I hate it when people don't use the data. The funny part is, I get call from the bank. Sir, we are calling from HDFC Bank. Can you please take a credit card? And I already have your credit card. Why are you calling it again? So definitely there is a data problem in that company, right? Whoever is calling. I know HDFC doesn't call. Their subsidiary or their agency who calls them, right? So clustering, when we do, which are the target segment when we can publish this? So one of my friend, she started handbags, female handbags shop in Bandra in Mumbai. Okay, and she was using some Google advertisement, and she was targeting the female age range 15 years to 35 years age range, right? During my discussion, I asked her, why 15 to 35? Why not male? She said, no, Mukesh, these are female bags, female use it. I said, yeah, but why don't you try male? Reluctantly, she spent in that month, she spent 10,000 rupees in Google advertisement for the males. Her sale went up 2.5x, 2.5 times. She was happy. Why? Because now she's able to get more business, because now she started targeting males also, because males are buying it for to gifting their family members, their loved ones. It could be any of those, right? Clustering. Thinking about clustering, how do I create clusters for marketing so that I can get the right audience? Again, is based on the data. Sometimes you have to do experiment. So she was not aware. She did it with females, but then when she did an experiment with male, she found success. And now you can fine tune the model that male of this age range, female of this age range, if you target during this time period of the time, they will get better output. Possible to do. Segmentation, targeting, campaigns, running a campaign. Okay. Now, if I ask you this question, and you can put your answers in the chat window. Paytm. Paytm gives you two offer. 20 rupees off on 100 rupees recharge. Another offer, 20% off on 100 rupees recharge. 20 rupees, 20 percentage. Both has to be exact 100 rupees recharge. Okay. Which offer would you take? 20 rupees or 20 percentage? You can put your answers in the chat window. Okay. Somebody put a message, targeting males in the month of February. Perfect answer. Good. Okay. 20 rupees. Both are same. Yes, Jay, both are same. But the fact that Mukesh is asking the question, kuch to gadbad hai uske andar, right? Okay. Okay. I'm not surprised. I got mixed answers. Some people are saying 20 rupees, some people are saying 20%. There's a scientific reason for that. So depends on what your background is, depending on what you like, right? Sometimes make it simple, 20 rupees, done, I'm okay. 20%, is there a catch, right? Always you think about it. But at the same time, some people would see 20%, your CPU in your mind start computing. Oh, 20% of this is this one, this one. So you get that gratification that I've done some calculation. So the company have involved you in that discussion without you knowing it. Okay. And then you see, when you look at the offer, you're more inclined toward taking that offer. In India, 20% works better compared to US. 20 rupees or whatever, $20, whatever that would be, works better. That's how it is. Recommendation, we talked about cross sell, upsell, ROI, right? Upsell, cross sell, upsell. Some of you may have heard the word, some of you may not have. Cross sell, upsell. Cross sell. Your existing customer, give them some other offers. Existing customer taking this, give them a better offer, right? Better offer in the sense, for example, I have certain plan on Vodafone. They approach me and I go, okay, can you upgrade your offer? Upgrade your package. Upsell. Cross sell. Hey, you have this one, you can also buy this from us. You can also buy this from us. That's your marketing. Finally, ROI, return on investment. ROI. So when you are doing spending, you are spending money to attract more people, and how much is your return on investment? Accordingly, you will spend. Identity, right? The whole part about privacy, security, permissions, all those fine. Doing KYC. KYC stands for know your customer, and looking at those, finding out any fraud is happening there. Biometrics, validation for security part, history of the person, all of those piece becomes your identity. Data is used extensively. Right now, there are so many data theft and so on become more important for people to use it. Affiliation, risk profiling, identity fraud, all of those parts are a part and parcel of that. So as you can see, right? So if I'm going and applying for a loan, they will look at my history. They will look at how many times I've applied for loan. They look at it, how many times I've changed my address. They'll see all the other factors as well before they're giving something to me. The CIBIL score in India, right? When you're applying for loan, they applying for credit card, you get the CIBIL report. It talks about all the addresses you have used in the past, all the phone numbers you have used in the past, all the names you have used in the past. It will show all of them. It's your history. Somebody is maintaining those, right? That's your identity part. Risk is another one, right? I'm going to detail so that you understand the value of data analytics. And then in another few minutes, I'll take a short break wherein you can you will get some more details from AccioJobs. But also at the same time, I'll talk about how you can enhance your career. Then I'll talk about some example and enhancing your profile to get those jobs as well. Risk, credit card risk, fraud risk, all of those parts are there, right? How do you come up with a risk score using data? Look at the probability, right? You'll be surprised to know that several places the risk is used very much as a starting point. Have you observed when you are doing a transaction, when you are using your credit card, sometimes the credit slip comes in 3 seconds, and sometimes it takes 10 seconds. Okay, the 3 second, 10 second, there's a difference. When you're doing these 3 seconds, the thing, it looks at the things, your past history, your probability and everything and all. They say, yep, the risk of this becoming a fraudulent transaction is very, very low. Clear it. In 3 seconds, you're cleared. If the risk is even the slightest risk of fraud, it does more checks in the 10 seconds. And then it gives you output yes or no. And then you might have also observed everything was fine. Your credit card pin was fine. Everything was fine. And then still it rejected your transaction. The purpose was there to reject was, only purpose was they thought the probability of fraud was high and they blindly rejected. All of those things are part of your risk profile, risk score. What are the things? You can also look at the who are the defaulter. Can you forecast the loan defaulters? Can you do something about them? Because the tendency is once you default the loan, next one also will default. But if I know that these are the 10 people who are going to default, if I can give them some offer, if I can reduce the EMI for this person and all, the chances of them defaulting is low, right? And what do you mitigate? How do you profile people and all? So all those things in part and parcel of your risk management part for your company, right? Then comes your customer. I briefly talked about demand sensing, right? If I ask you this question, you can put that answer in the chat window. When in India, which month sugar sale is very high? In India, the months where sugar sale is very, very high. You can put that into the chat window. Yes, Jay, it is also called false positive in the data analytics language. Okay, November, May to June, fine. So we need to give answer summer, May to June, May rainy day. Rainy day, I'm not sure why sugar is high. Ravi, I don't know. October to November because of Diwali, I believe. June, May will be because of summer. Perfect, right? Very good. So you giving the answer. Now imagine if I am a DMart or a Big Bazaar. If I'm in that store and I stock, let's say 100 kg of sugar. Okay, and then I look at after a month, every day I stock 100 kg in the morning. After a month, I look at the data and say, yes, sale day 1 100 kg, second day 100 kg, third day 100 kg. Wow, I'm happy. All 100 kg, all sold. But I miss out on a big part. Lost opportunity. If I've stocked 100 kg and all 100 kgs are gone every day, which means maybe if I stock 120 kg, maybe all of them would have gone. Maybe if I stock 200 kg, maybe all of them would have got. I don't know. I don't have data. This is what I call missed opportunity. I don't know. Maybe even if I do 101 kg, only 100 kg will be sold. I don't know that part. But the fact that exactly the amount is getting sold, which means some problem is there. Maybe I have not done enough demand sensing. So I'm not doing demand sensing. I'm just putting some number 100 kg arbitrarily. All of them are getting sold. So next time I need to make it 120. Next time I need to make 150. Next time I need to make 100, 200 and so on. Right? Now the question in India, next question on YouTube, you can put in the chat window. In India, what days of the month, you can put any dates by the way, what dates of the month we have people going and doing grocery shopping? What dates of the month in India people do grocery shopping the most? Okay, somebody is putting error 404 error. Keshav. Okay, 1 to 5 of the month every day, Saturday, Sunday, second and third, festive season. Okay, Keshav is putting error 401. I don't know what. 10. Okay, so I see some people saying every day. That is true. People holding credit cards. Normally, you can buy anytime and everywhere. But you might have observed Amazon gives an offer 1st to 5th of the month. Big Basket gives you offer 1st to 5th of the month. Blinkit gives you offer 1st to 5th of the month. Okay, so first 5 to 7 days of the month, most of the grocery shopping happens. Somebody also mentioned Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Ram have mentioned Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Arindam have mentioned weekend. Okay, excellent. Okay, and Raj have mentioned 10th because some companies might pay salary on 10th of the month. Possible. I'm not aware of it. Okay, assuming broader, and this is by the way, majority of the shopping happen on 1st to 7th of the month, and within a day, within a week, most of the shopping happens on Sunday, which means the first Sunday of the month will have the highest shopping, which means you better have your stock in place, good amount if you do good demand sensing, so your profitability can be very, very high because you will be able to sell more item on the first Sunday of the month. Okay. The other part on that customer will be text to speech, right? So how do you make sure the customer interaction is happening well with the chat bots and so on? Okay. Then lifetime value. Customer is there. I want to find lifetime value of the customer, and accordingly, I'll say yes, the customer is good long term. If the customer is having complaint, let me resolve those. So yes, some of you might be mentioning that the cancellation charge. I do get cancellation charge from Uber. Maybe after I do 4 or 5 cancellation, one time they'll charge me. Not always, because I am their loyal customer. Compared to Ola, every time I do cancellation, they'll charge me because I'm not a loyal customer there. So they understand the lifetime value and accordingly try to make more money or less money from you in that small transaction compared to looking at the long-term value. Gamification, retention, feedback, next best action. If I'm interacting with the customer, if I know what the customer situation is, I can provide the next best action so that I can get the more value from the customer. Okay. And then of course, looking at the transaction fraud, I talked about already. Anti-money laundering. Today, multiple countries have anti-money laundering laws, including India. Data analytics is the only way for them to find out if there is any problem, there is any money laundering happening. And yes, it is based on the graph theory, based on the underlying segment is data analytics. How I can find out if this transaction is leading to money laundering. Think about it. Each one of us have a pattern. Each one of us have a pattern of spending. Each one of us have a pattern of withdrawing money from ATM or from the bank, cash withdrawal whenever we do, right? Imagine if I'm suddenly withdrawing 48,000 rupees today, 48,000 rupees tomorrow, 40,000 rupees tomorrow. If I continue to do that part, it should be a suspicion. Why Mukesh is withdrawing 40,000 rupees? Because we have to give PAN number on 50,000 rupees withdrawal. Mukesh have only withdrawn 20,000 rupees in a whole month. Now suddenly is withdrawing 40,000 rupees back to back. Maybe there's a genuine reason. Maybe there's a marriage in Mukesh's house. That's why he wants money. Or maybe suspicion. Something else is wrong. Anti-money laundering. Monitoring and alerting. If you find some pattern, anomalies, how can you do monitoring and alerting for those transactions? And of course, user experience. So that seamlessly you can complete the transaction rather than thinking about it. And the chances of if you dropping in between the transaction is very, very high. So that's why you see, as soon as you say check out, there's no other thing scheme. Scheme just come, okay, just pay the money and close it. Because if you get confused by something else, you will drop your plan for checking out. Right? Important part to remember that part. And last but not the least, on the operations part, how do the user experience work on operations, ATM, how do they fill the money in their manufacturing side, preventive part, all of those parts and parcel. So each of this area are the opportunity area. Healthcare is big area where data analytics is used right now. I'm actually coaching some of the people in this area as well. But again, the underlying part is the person able to look at the data and then do something with that? Some reports you might have seen this, the sexiest job of 21st century. 11 years back, this report came out from HBR. It is becoming true now. Okay, this one about 3 years back, this report came out, which was on Bloomberg, from Bloomberg, $500 billion economy by 2026. The shortage of data scientists is huge right now. More and more company, as I talked about Capgemini as well. Capgemini, definitely there are a lot of hiring happening in insights and data part as well. Center of excellence. Again, a lot of these companies are coming there. Now, when you talk about analytics, right, what kind of career jobs are there? So depending on where you are, right, you could be in tech background, you could be a non-tech background, or you could be a business background, or you could be experienced person. Okay, so yes, if you're going for the tech background, if you already have tech background, you could be a data engineer, you could be data architect, you could be software engineer, admin, MLOps, DevOps, any of those if you are technology background. If you're looking at more of a statistics part of it, you have statistics background, you can be going there, which is the data scientist, data analyst, business modeler, visualization, all of those things could be your jobs which you can look for. Some of you who are from non-tech background, who probably want to get into more into business side of it, you're becoming a product manager, a business analyst, business development person. Each job is important. I, as a person, I as a data scientist, I as a technology person, I as a CTO, I cannot do anything in healthcare without having a healthcare expert with me. I cannot do anything in marketing without having a marketing person with me, because I might be good at technology, I might be good at data, but I will always require people, a person with that particular domain expertise, which I am not. So that's where you become important. But then if you are a marketing person, only pure marketing person, and you don't know data analytics, it will not be useful for me either. So it is always a combination of your core domain plus data. You could have done manufacturing, you could have done electronics, you could have done electrical, you could be anything. You could have been working in support, you could have been working in manufacturing. As long as you are able to talk about data, the jobs are available across the industry. And then, of course, getting into management. After about 15 years of experience and all, some people earlier than that, you can become a data science head, you can become senior management, group head, business head, chief technology officer, chief data officer, chief analytics officer, and of course, the CEO as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you something and I'll take a pause after this so that you can get more details about some of the question I will answer in that break. And then we'll resume the session with some other details which I want to share. Today, you can try it out. This is the data, probably 2 hours old data. 2 hours old data. Okay, you can go to LinkedIn and search data analyst jobs in India. 1 lakh jobs available. Data analytics job, 28,000 jobs. Business analytics job, 20,000 jobs. Artificial intelligence, data architect, pretty much any field you take, there are lots and lots of jobs available. These are published job on LinkedIn. And the thumb rule in the industry is if one job is published on LinkedIn, chances are there are 25 jobs in the market. Okay, because LinkedIn is costly, and also even if I want 5 people, I only put one. Okay, so now if you look at that piece, which means you can see about 25 lakhs jobs are available in this area minimum, right? And that's where the whole beauty is. That's where people are struggling. Now you might ask the question: as soon as you finish some course and you will get a job, maybe not. People always want some experience, so it always has to be combination of some course you go through, some experience you gain, and the experience could be while going through the course you do some projects, while doing your existing job you can do some projects in addition to the course. Somewhere you should be able to show and articulate what you know. Just having a degree will not get you job. Everybody knows about it. You should be able to crack the interview, right? If you're able to crack interview, because every company, if you look at the composition of people, most of the companies in India, I'm talking about consulting companies, service companies, about 50% of the people are less than 3 years experience. And these are the people who join, who work, who take on the task, and then they grow in their career and all. So yes, you are targeting those kind of jobs which are available there. And of course, jobs are available in all these areas. Okay. So going back, data. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to give it to Gurtej. Gurtej, you want to show some more details here?
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone, welcome again. So I have something to share, and I guess so far you were enjoying the session. So there is some exciting news for all of you. We are launching our first ever cohort of data analytics. And the best part is, what about this course? This will not only teaches you the tools, but also heavily focus on the problem solving skill set. And the few glimpse of the program is that you will be taught by the IITs, NITs, alumni who are actually working in the data industry. And apart from that, what in the problem solving classes, you'll be taught to how to break down the problem solve bigger problem into the sub problems, and what are the best approaches to tackle that problem, right? So entire program is designed in such a way that at the end of that you can say that you are a very good problem solver. With the help of the data analytics tools, you will be driving and you will get a place. Second thing is that we are partner with the 300 plus companies, so don't worry about anything else. You will be getting a very good insights on the data learning platforms. After that, you'll be having a partnered company where you'll be looking for your job change, right? And so that is all about that. We'll be sharing a link in the, it's already shared in the section, comment section. Just throw your queries, our team will get in touch with you if you have struggling somewhere. So what you guys have to do is just a simple sign up on our website, that is the data-analytics.acciojob.com. Be there, take the test, and if you have a potential there, we'll be evaluating your profile. After your test is done, you'll be having an IT and counselor call. We'll be shortlisting the students, and then you'll get a chance to be a part of this data analytics cohort. So don't miss this chance. Be a part of it. I guess the link is already there. And if you have any queries, you can ping us. So yeah, that's the news. Happy learning, guys.
Thank you, Gurtej. I'm back. I am now sharing my screen again, and we'll now jump to the next element, which is giving you a little bit more flavor about how the data things work. I'm sharing my screen one more time. I hope you can see my screen now. Yes. Okay. So when you talk about data, it is a combination. It's a value of qualitative and quantitative measurements. What is qualitative? Qualitative. So when you order something from Zomato, you get a thing 1 to 10 rating, you provide a rating, and then sometimes there's a text box where you can provide a comment, right? A combination of qualitative, which is your comment, quantitative, which is your numeric value. The combination that gives you the data. Everything is data. Even the comment you put in take data, because it is combination of structured and unstructured data. I don't know if you'll be surprised, but I can tell you this number. 96.1% of the data currently is unstructured. I want you to give me examples of unstructured data which you have heard about. Structured data is simple. A numeric value which is available in table is your structured data. That's only 3.9% of worldwide data which is structured. 96.1% is unstructured. I want you to put that number in the chat window. Okay, I see some answers. Okay, photo, video, audio. Jay, looks like you attended my earlier session, huh? Yes, the answer is correct. Audio, video, and pictures, images, but also, Ram, you have given the right answer. Reviews, the text input also, and of course, sometimes the number, if the number themselves are not structured, that will be another way to look at this part, right? Data of unorganized sector. Okay, these are all unstructured data. So we're talking about structured data, unstructured data combination. Now think about it. Today, since 1 p.m. India time, you all have not checked your WhatsApp. You all are active here on YouTube live session, but not active on WhatsApp. People trying to reach you will see last seen 1 p.m. Right? That's the part. That's your inactivity. Inactivity also generates data. So when you think about data, see, you'll go to the course, you'll learn techniques, and I don't have any doubts around that. But important part to remember, it's the mindset. You should have that mindset about what is happening there. And if you don't have that mindset, definitely you will be struggling to be able to do that. And that's exactly what I want to highlight here. And you will learn more in the course. Every activity, inactivity generates data, and the data tells a lot about somebody. Let me ask you this question. 2020, what comes to your mind? Can you put that in the chat window? 2020, what comes to your mind? Okay, I see some answers. COVID, of course, you can put COVID, Corona. Other than COVID and Corona, put something else. Okay, now enough of COVID, Corona. Yes, pandemic, lockdown. Okay, other than COVID, Corona, put something else. 2020, what comes to your mind? Okay, I guess getting new answers. Okay, guys, cannot copy the answer. Put some new answers. Online education boom. Okay, Jay, good answer. Gaming, yes. Okay, Netflix. What else? Work from home, English online. Come on, 2020. I thought it was cricket. It's a simple answer that 2020 is cricket, right? 2020 is cricket. 2020 is a book by Dr. Abdul Kalam. 2020 there is a Parle biscuit. 2020 vision, eye vision. 2020 is a weight loss program in US, and 2020 is a talk show in UK. If 2020 has so much meaning, when somebody is searching for 2020, what would they get? Right? They should get everything. But yes, when Google is showing them, we want to show only the relevant one so that people like the answer. People like the output. So that's why we have to be very, very clear about the intent of the person. Intent. Yes, Dr. Kalam's book, Share Market Crash, Cricket Match. Okay. So people should be able to see their preferred one, intent. For example, if a foreigner come to India and say 2020, okay, play cricket, no. Eat biscuit, no. Read book, no. I am looking at my weight loss program because the person is from US. But how do you find that out? It's only IP address. The IP address is from India now. So it has to be a combination. It has to understand what the person is and person really want to do. Okay. So that's what that's all about intent. Now, all the things which I talked about right today, data, analytics, everything has to drive back to business. If there is no business, then of course it is useless, which means if I cannot put dollar or rupee symbol with that, I will not be able to get value out of the data. Okay. Now you might have heard about all these things: data, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Okay. So yes, artificial intelligence libraries, you call it and you get output. Good. Machine learning, you run the model, you get output. Like analytics, you get. So it always starts from the data. If you don't have data, you cannot do anything on the top. So you start with the data, there's a foundation, then you do data analytics, which is, so the course we are talking about is getting to know more and more about data analytics, where a foundation becomes a lot more stronger. And then incremental learning for machine learning and artificial intelligence is just incremental, a small incremental which you have to do. So the element of when you talk about robotic process automation, it's a combination of data analytics, machine learning, AI and all. If you talk about digital transformation, it is purely data analytics. If we talk about IoT, it's purely data analytics. And when you go to virtual augmented reality and all those things, that's where artificial intelligence comes into picture. The ChatGPT is all about data. It started with data. It performed some other analytics insights. It did good machine learning. And now with artificial intelligence, it is able to solve people's problem, right? So you cannot skip the grade. You have to go through the steps to get there. So some more example I would like to share with you. So now you might have seen sometime while working, sometime while using any of the application, sometime the application crash and you see this button, send error report. This was 1999, 23 years back. When I came up with this idea, my manager told me, no, Mukesh, nobody will click this button. And he was right. Only 1.4% people click the button. 1.4% out of millions of users who are using this application is enough, right? Data. The purpose was for me to collect the data so that I can analyze why the crash is happening. It was very painful to see some application crashing and some people losing data. So I wanted to solve the problem. So I solved this problem by doing this part. We were able to analyze and find out, is the crash happening because of the code? Is the scenario which is incorrect? Is the user data which is the problem? Machine, config, could be any of the combination, or is the browser which is the issue, or the network latency is the issue. So combination that we were able to find out just by collecting the data when the crash was happening and no personal information was captured. 1.4% people click on the button, enough to find out why the crash is happening and fix those crash so that the crash doesn't happen, right? Very, very straightforward data analytics example. Okay. Now let's look at the other part. New telecom product. I'm sure all of you, several of you would have used Jio. Some of you might be still using it. Okay. In India, the market share is still in the range of some 40% percentage of Jio. The problem was when I was working at Jio, first time launch, how would we know that there are new towers, whether the tower are functioning or not? How are we getting the output and all? How would we know this part? So the whole strategy around let us give Jio for free for first few months. Let the people use it. When we use it, people don't call. When you're using a free service, you don't call and say, hey, my service is not working. You just abandon it, or you just find out the place where it works and then you continue to use it because it is a free connection, right? The plan was at that time, even if 30% converts free connection, it is good enough. It was more than 70% who converted, by the way. Okay. So the free connection, the purpose was test it out. But how are you testing it? Data. We were doing silent listening. We are listening into this, listening in the sense, not listening into the phone call. Listening into is capturing the data to see whether the person have enough connection or not. Is it 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar on your phone? Are the calls getting dropped? Just listening into those silently and then saying, yes, I think I am this particular area, this particular 2 meter, 5 meter radius area, this latitude, longitude, these many people are coming here and these many people have network problem. This phone have a network problem. This area have network problem. This time of the day is a network problem. We collected all those information and continue to improvise. And you might have seen since September 2016 when it was launched, every few days, few weeks, few months, the quality of network was improving because it was using the data to improvise the quality, right? the clustering, the density, and the usage pattern was understood. Junk filter. This is the one which I've talked about, right? The first first AI algorithm for Microsoft 23 years back. Bill Gates used to get 15,000 junk email per day. Okay, now it's a lot, 15,000. So how do we do that part? So what we did was we were looking at it. Of course, some of the other people have already built a solution. We were looking at it. How do you find out if it's junk or not? They were looking at keywords. If this word is there, then the email is junk. If this word is there, the email is not junk. Things like that, right? But of course, junk sender was smarter than us. As you can see, right? Sometimes instead of 0, they will put O, or instead of I, they will put 1. So that while reading, you might still read it correctly, but actually it is different. Okay? So we started doing this. We realized it's not working out well. So I took a different approach. I raised my hands again, I'll do it, but of course, I did not get officially confirmation that I should work on it. So what I did was, instead of doing this way, I focused on collecting the data. So I started collecting the data on my own computer. How do I behave with the email? So data was collected to see these 20 emails I deleted in 1 second. These 30 emails I read more than 5 seconds. These 4 emails I read for these many seconds. I started collecting the data, and then soon I found out that yes, I am able to find out the pattern about when I delete what kind of emails, and depending on that, I can determine what emails are junk for me. For example, I like Amazon emails. I read them, but some other email I don't like them, so I delete them in 1 second, 2 seconds. So if I'm deleting in 1, 2 seconds, chances are they are junk for me compared to other people, other emails which are not. So that data collection was done, analytics was done on those part, and then came up with the categories that this set of emails are probably junk, this set of email are not junk, and accordingly do junk filtering. You might have observed sometimes your important email goes to junk, sometimes it's not, but then that probability is very, very low. But the main point is, how do you make sure people get less junk in their mailbox? Okay, this was done long time back. I'm sure Microsoft would have updated that algorithm, but that's how some of the algorithm was done in the past. You need to keep updating because people behavior changes over a period of time. Search result. This is another example of data analytics used in action. Have you ever wondered why the link of search is always blue? Put that into the chat window. Why the search results links are blue in color? And give me just a second. Somebody is calling me. Okay, I'm back. The question is, why the color of the link of search is blue in color? I see some answers. More rich. The reason, why blue? Why not green? Why not purple? Why not off-white? Answers? See, everything should have a reason, and then once you're getting into data profession, you should be able to answer anything by the data rather than Hippo, right? Hippo, you know what is Hippo, right? Highest individual paid person's opinion. Okay. Blue is beautiful, Aman. Okay, subjective answer. It stood out more. Okay, there is a scientific reason. I don't know. Okay, so you don't know the answer. Same thing with me. I don't know the answer, but I was curious, jigyasa. Like why I'm getting blue color. So I asked this question, and he gave me some answer, and the answer was correct. Okay, this is the reason Facebook is blue. I don't think Facebook have copied the color from here, but anyway. So the person who was head of Bing at that time, Microsoft Search, he told me, Mukesh, the color is blue because blue color is a symbol for trust. Blue color means data, and that's the reason it shows blue. Okay, I researched, and the answer was correct. He gave the answer which was correct, but I was not convinced. So what do I need to do? Fine. I said, okay, fine. Let me ask some more question. So I asked this question. Okay, fine. If you say blue, fine. I see you given some answer, and I see it was valid answer. But I also want to get some more confirmation. I asked, can you tell me why this shade of blue? He said, Mukesh, you have too many questions. Tell me what do you want? I said, I don't know what I want. I just want to understand why this shade of blue. There was an ad by Asian Paints in India, Mera Wala Blue, right? So I had something in mind that, is there any favoritism? Like why this shade of blue, that shade of? He said, no, Mukesh, But let's do, what do you want? I said, can you do an experiment? We did an experiment. We designed an experiment wherein 10 different shades of blue were taken. We did a benchmark. With this current shade of blue, we are getting this much output in terms of number of people clicking on the links and so on. The shade of blue we were using at that time was kept at number 5. 4 shades of blue which are lighter than this, another 5 shades of blue which are darker than this, total 10 shades of blue we gave to 10% people across the globe. Okay, and then we were looking at it and then seeing how the output is changing. We were surprised to see the 9th darker shade of blue gave us the higher click-through rate. We were amazed. 54% higher click-through rate just because of changing the blue color. Whatever that was, is it pleasing to the eyes? It looks good. It stands out. I don't know. Okay, so I decided we'll change it. We changed it. 54% more click-through, more business to Microsoft. Data-driven innovation, I call it. Okay, e-commerce, we talked about it already. Recommendation. One of the things you have to always remember is everything what you do with the data, you come in, but even the output has need to be analyzed with data. Okay, so now when I'm looking at the data, what am I seeing? For example, Mukesh have looked at this book. Mukesh have browsed this book. Mukesh have purchased this book, right? If I look at the history, now other people have done this something. Now, if I start comparing and all, yes, I get some idea about it. But tomorrow, if I'm purchasing a book and it gives me recommendation, 5 recommendation, I don't click on them. That does not mean that I don't like it. It's just that at that time I may not need it. But if I say, do not show me again, there is a button sometime. Or if I say I click on it and I say, the clicking means explicit yes, removing it means explicit no. In all the other cases, it is implicit yes and no. Okay, so that's how you have to understand the data when you're collecting it. Why somebody clicked on something. I know I'm going a little bit more deep into this, but this is the psychology, this is the mindset you need to have when you are consulting, when you are equipped with data analytics tools. When you're giving recommendation, you'll be giving those parts rather than saying, "Aap batao kya karna, main kar lunga." In English, you tell me what to do and I'll do it for you. No, you need to be one step ahead. The thought leadership you will be able to demonstrate once you have enough data point with you. So the whole recommendation engine has to work, but we have to also validate whether it's working or not. That's why YouTube will give you 7 recommendations, and depending on what you click on it, YouTube algorithm improves that. Yes, my recommendation was good. My recommendation was good. And it improves the algorithm also, right? The whole layout on the website, e-commerce site, this parts, advertisement, everything has a data collection part. They want to see where you are spending time, where you are browsing, when your vision is, and everything. They understand, and accordingly they will give you offers and so on, right? All those parts are there. Marketing email. At what time do you open your email? At what is the probability that you are going to buy if you open the email at that time? What is the probability you're going to click, right? So all those things is timed for you as a person, time for a segment of users, and so on. Okay, and of course, when you're doing major releases like these movies, like or not movie, the books release or some product release and all, how do you plan the sites, right? When this thing happened, right? $1 billion sales on Flipkart. When it happens, right? They have to plan everything and all in place, collect enough data so that they can do big bang approach there as well. And of course, offer to response rate. So give you an offer and then you put offer code. What is the purpose? They see if I'm sending an offer with this code XYZ something, and then the person use it, they know, okay, my reach of this offer is this much. So they'll keep testing it out. Then they understand that if I'm sending this offer in future, I'll get this many reach. Of course, the product could be different, the timing could be different, the offer could be different, but it is good starting point rather than doing it blindly. Okay. Now look at this one, real-time analytics, right? So if you look at each one of them, zip code, your city, your biographic, okay, occupation, site, because you visited the site earlier, right? Everything you get, all of those parts are signals. Some of the signals gives you positive push, some of them give you negative push, and accordingly your whole optimizer works and then comes up with this parameter combination, which is 11 million combinations. And based on that, it understand that, okay, for Mukesh, if I show this in the next 2 days, if I show that in the next 5 days, I will have high chance of conversion. I will have high chance the person will click on it. That's what they will be able to get it, right? That's part. So this part, coming up with those part is your data analytics job. How do you do that? Of course, you will be taught some tools and techniques and all which you learn. But once you get those, once you come to this point, you will be able to mix all of those and then make the secret sauce, the secret recipe where people will be able to use it. Let me give you a simple diagram here. From today onwards, when you hear this word, you have to do a mental mapping of this. Okay, past, present, future. Past, things which have happened. If you are looking at historic data, you are what happened. That's your information. That's only your reporting. That's it. You report and you fix. That's it. Your past history, insights. How happened? What? How did it happen? Past. You are looking at modeling and analytics. How it happened, and then action, root cause analysis. What can be done to prevent this and so on. So that's your past. You're staying in the past, getting something. You will, in most of the job, you will start with the past. You have to start with the past. There is no option there. Once you understand the past very well, you are in more control. If this, then this, you will be able to correlate, you will be able to talk about it in history. Historically these have happened, so you have that more data, you are in more control. Then comes the part of present, here and now what is happening. So each of the career, the job which you're going to have, right, in data analytics, it will be a combination of what you can understand from the past, what you are doing in the present, a combination of those parts. Alerts, what's happening right now, an alert, somebody trying to log in into your account with a incorrect password, alert comes immediately. That's what is happening right now. Okay, SMS to deducted money, credited money, all of them are right now, which are alerts present. If you bring the data angle to those, right, the pattern and everything comes there, right? We have seen a pattern that somebody have tried to log in from this IP address, right? Are you the same person, right? All those things are your alerts. Recommendation, I go to Amazon, I go to YouTube, I see recommendation. That's the best thing, next best thing I can do. That's my insights. And then of course, is it happening as expected? The action, verification and validation part, that's my part, which is about presently what action I can take on certain things. Okay, now the future part is where the real interesting things come. What can happen in future? Simple example, simplest example. I know you don't want to get into those things, but simple example. And the cricket when is happening, it shows, right, with the current run rate, this will be the score. Simple, right? Extrapolation. Okay. The future is all about those looking at the current data, looking at the present situation, looking at the past part of it. What do you think will happen in future? The whole part of prediction comes into picture. Okay, with these people, what the prediction will happen, your data analytics comes here, and finally the prescriptive part of it, right? How we are going to handle this situation, what is the next best action you can do. So all of those things combination, you will see, you will be hearing a lot more, and the more you are focusing on getting value, the more you are getting into the future, the better will be for you. Okay, you might have you would have seen a link onto your chat window. The link, fill out the form for getting your certificate for attending this course. Okay, now what I'm showing you on the screen in some examples wherein how can artificial intelligence can be used to be able to see the emotions of a person on the face, and then get some make some recommendation there. At the same time, on the bottom, something similar where you're looking at multiple people faces and then finding out whether the person is happy or not, what is the gender, what is the age of the person, and see whether the Kaun Banega Crorepati or the movie, the serials which are happening, right? It could be Kapil Sharma show. During the show, are the people, if the audience is true, what are the sentiments of the people, and which are the places where we can show the advertisement at the right place, right? So all those things are part and parcel of using data, using machine learning, using artificial intelligence, computer vision to be able to get some value. So I want you to know that your career journey, the first step is data analytics, but that in future you will be getting into some of those parts as well. Okay, now coming to the last part of the session, how do you get there, right? So of course one is the course, but if you're doing the course but if you don't have enough mindset, you probably will struggle, right? So it's always a combination of the doing the course and then doing something more than that, right? The part of curiosity, the jigyasa, right? The passion about how things work. You should be curious. So when you're learning, you should be curious, asking question. In Hindi, मैंने बोला ना इसलिए ये करना ऐसा नहीं है. Like you're not using those terms, you're not following those. You're in English because I said so. You are a person who always asks for a reason. You are the person who are curious to learn new things, and if you search for how things work, you can pretty much find out anything and everything. How Google Map works, how ChatGPT works. ChatGPT is in the news on the town, right? How Uber works. Okay, how Times of India works, why did I get this advertisement, how YouTube recommendation work. If you search, you will get all the answers, much more than what I already gave you, right? How things, but the curiosity part is there. We are born curious. Humans are born curious. During our early years, like when we are 1 year young, 2 years young, 3 years young, we have that curiosity. Unfortunately, the parents and the teachers and all, they'll kill the curiosity by saying, "मैंने बोला ना इसलिए वही करना है." In English, because I said so, don't ask me questions, right? So all those parts are there. Albert Einstein, I am neither clever or especially gifted. I'm just curious. That's it. Curious. So keep the curiosity. So whenever you will see something, you should ask, why did I get that ad? Why did I get this email? Okay, how does this work? So if you know this, all of those parts, that becomes your curious, and that becomes more and more confident for you. Okay, Mark Twain, right? Isn't about what you don't know gets you in trouble. It's you think you know it, but you don't know it. That's the one which you cover. So the whole curiosity part is a human development of learning and desire to learn new things. A second part is your aptitude. Do you understand data? Right? What are the models, how people are using it in analytics? Okay, now how the business domain work. For example, if we talk about healthcare, if we talk about manufacturing, if we talk about supply chain, if we talk about marketing, how does it really work? How the advertisement comes in, how do people advertise, how do people connect, how the data is collected, all those things and parcel, if you should be aware of it. So data aptitude part of it, knowing those part, understanding those is very, very important. And finally, of course, the technical knowledge about solving the problem. Technical knowledge doesn't mean that you should be a technical, but yes, enough for you to write a SQL code. You'll be learning those in the course, of course. Enough for you to write Python code. If you are able to do that part, your aptitude is definitely good. Okay, and the last part, which I really love it, it's your attitude, right? For anything, raise your hand, which means any question, any curious, any project or something, you raise your hand in your current company. That's how you get experience. Now, you let's say if you're doing some job in your company which is not related to data, and then you do this course, you're spending time, you're spending effort, you're spending money, you do this course and everything. Now course is done. After 3 months, you go and ask for a job somewhere else. The person said, do you have experience? And you say no. They're curious, like, hey, you are working in the company, you did a course, you're not able to apply in your own company, how are you going to come and apply in my company? Oh, I never got a job and everything. No, you have to steal the opportunity, you have to grab the opportunity. So if we say hand, raise your hand, you're doing your current job anywhere. Once you start the course, start applying something in your job. Everybody of us do get exposed to some data. Start applying something there. You'll be surprised how much you can do with the data, by the way, a lot. Okay, पूछने में क्या जाता है, right? In English, there is no harm in asking. So ask for the opportunity. Okay, do those. Your attitude should be such that you are taking opportunity, you are asking for those, and then you're curious, learning new things and all. And you should be able to see analytics in anything and everything. You're looking around, you're trying to do something, you will find analytics everywhere. Okay, and then you're getting into the more and more about ownership mindset. So these are some of the things which will help you get the career you want. So again, just a summary of those: attitude, aptitude, and curiosity. A combination of these three will land you a good job. And we all know, you have seen it already. There are so many jobs available in this area, and you can search it yourself on LinkedIn or Naukri. You'll be able to see all of those parts, right? So curiosity we talked about, being curious, trying to learn new things, trying to find out how things work so that you are fully ready. Then getting into aptitude, wherein you are knowing the knowledge, you're having the knowledge, you know how to solve problem with analytics. And then of course your attitude to be able to see opportunities everywhere, and then grabbing the opportunity by raising your hand or by using the technical पूछने में क्या आता है in English. There is no harm in asking. Okay, so if you fast forward, what does the future look like, right? So data literacy is going to be more common. If you search for data literacy, you will start seeing some articles there, and several of the things I have written myself. Literacy, what does the data literacy mean? People should be able to read and write data. Yes, it might sound funny, but yes, you should be able to read and consume data. You should be able to ask about data. The discovery and collaborative intelligence. Discovery, will you be able to discover more from data? Data have a lot of value. Okay, collaborative intelligence, which means humans, multiple machines coming together and becoming collaborative intelligence rather than just artificial intelligence, right? Data quality, one of the biggest challenge in data is data quality. Simple example, when we type gender, right? Some site with accept male, female. Some will accept M and F. Some people will say gents, ladies. Some place it will say capital, all capital, some less capital. All those combinations are there. That turns into data quality issue. When you're capturing things, all of those things, data quality, you will be learning all of those. But how do you overcome data quality issues and so on? How do you standardize those? And at some point, it becomes commoditization. Commodity. Data is a commodity, which means will you be able to buy and sell data? Not personal data, not PII data, but some data. So the historical part about data, you got some examples already, but now you are getting into the point where you're implementing it, where you are giving an interview. You should be able to talk about that what you have learned, tools. Normally there are 4 questions asked. One of them will be how do you use tools, what are your fundamentals of data, and so on. The last question will be about this. Where will you apply? So this example will be helpful for you, by the way. You becoming proactive, predictive, prescriptive, and augmented analytics. Proactive, like coming up before somebody asking the question, you're doing some analytics. More prescriptive, more augmented analytics. Okay. Now you're trying to reduce the time. Earlier there used to be team. You send the data, they'll come after 1 month. This is the report, a big PDF report for the data. People don't have time and patience for this. People say, hey, can I reduce the time? Okay, can I do self-service? Can I use Power BI? Okay, analytics as a service. Can I click, and I get the insights rather than waiting for forever, right? So tighter and tighter integration will happen between human and machines with AI. You will be able to see those parts, and data will play a very, very important role there. And of course, the security, the privacy, the trust, the explainability, all of them will be there, right? Okay. The other part is, of course, the piece which you talk about always, the new roles which are emerging, right? So some of you who are at the junior level, you will see you could be aspiring to become a chief data officer of the company, okay? Chief analytic officer. Earlier, these roles were not very common and all. It would take for a long time for people to do. I became CTO after 20 years of experience. I've been CTO for 7 years now, 7 years, yes. Okay, after 20 years. Okay, sometimes it used to take time, but now people are becoming CTOs 12 years, 13 years. They're becoming CTO faster, right? So you could be coming faster, but then you will require that experience around analytics, data, and all to get there faster. Okay. So in conclusion, of course, after the conclusion, I'll take some more questions on the chat. Please keep posting a question. I'm going to go to some of the question. I already see some question already. So industry expectation is all about how are you able to leverage data and then deliver business value, right? So now business value, right? So if a business is certain things, business KPI, how your business is able to deliver value, the people will be looking at those part. Okay. Then like second is immersive user experience, right? How are people experiencing this part? Now I'm going to show you one screen here quickly. So now what you see here and what you see here, look at the difference. Okay. So I'm showing you right now Notepad. The menu of Notepad was like this. Okay. Now the same menu was there on PowerPoint, Excel, Word, everywhere. People used to go there and then do something. So you might have observed sometimes you get a pop-up box on the left side which says participate in customer experience improvement program. You can choose to say yes or no. As I mentioned, a lot of people in the world have clicked yes and they have participated. So we collected that data at Microsoft and we were able to find out using data that what kind of task people do when they are doing certain things. For example, if I'm here, look at the menu changes. I get shape format, right? If I'm here, okay, look at it, smart design. I get different menu items, okay? So what can we do so that people can do the task in 1 click or 2 click, right? So I should be able to do most of the task in 1 click or 2 click, and that is something which we did. And this is what I'm referring to here, is this immersive user experience and design powered by data. So if I just say, hey, I like this, please do it, I would have been a hippo. If I say, hey, 80% of the user when they are here, they do this. 30% of the user when they are here, they do this. For example, in normal circumstances, when you're driving the car, you are at a signal on the right lane, probability that you're going to take a right turn is high. You're going to take a U-turn is there. You're going to go straight is also there. Okay. but you're taking a left, the probability is less. There are people who do that, by the way, but I'm just saying probability wise, right? So now if you start thinking about it, that if I can give a better solution for the person during, depending on which page, which UI the person is, I'll be able to make the experience much better. That's why I call it immersive user experience, right? So I should be able to know that from here, where do people go, right? The example of driving I gave so that you can understand, you normally will not, on the same road, you will not take a U-turn normally, but yeah, there will be 1% people who might be doing it. On the road, you will not take a opposite direction of the road normally, right? But yes, in some cases, some cities, people do drive on the wrong side of it, right? But normal conditions, what would people do? That's your immersive user experience, right? How do you understand the analytics model which you're going to learn? Do you understand how to do the industry expectation would be knowing the data analytics space? Can you come and solve my problem? That exactly what the industry wants from you. Okay, how things work. This I talked about already. Very important. I will ask this question if you are interviewing with me. How does Google Map work? How does Google know that 2 hours later what is going to be traffic in Pune if I'm traveling from Mumbai to Pune and I want to know what the traffic is going to be? How does Google know about that? These are all the questions you might know the answer, by the way. If not, this is the answers which you want. And by the way, the answer is with data, with historical data. They're able to create a model and they do the prediction that what will be traffic after a certain time, right? Ability to come up with the idea. Each of the jobs in data analytics, when you're building a career, if you're able to answer some of those, people will love it, because not just you are that person who knows data analytics, of course you should know that, but you're able to come up with solving the business problem. And that is the key part of it. And finally, continuous learning and upskilling and all. I use this phrase in the beginning, jack of all trade, master of not none, some. If you're getting more and more into that kind of a jobs and role, you will get those. Okay, I already talked about this. So if you look at the top 30 technologies, we're talking about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, mobile, blockchain, big data, automation, robotics, immersive media, mobile tech, cloud computing, and it list goes on and on and on, right? So the industry is looking for those. Industry is looking, and each of the area, artificial intelligence, data, Internet of Things, data, mobile, social media, data, blockchain, data, big data, of course, automation, a lot of data. So every place the data is the key, data analytics is the key. So this timing is very good for people to do the course. And that brings an end to the session. I'm going to spend the next 15-20 minutes answering question you may have on any of those topic which I've covered today, career in general, or if you have any question around the jobs and so on, right? So I want you to put that question into the chat window, and I'm happy to answer some of the question. Do know that there is a few seconds lag between live session and the chat, so I might be able to answer after a few seconds only. Okay, let's go back to the questions. Let me come back here, stop sharing. Okay, I'm taking the question now. I am pursuing my graduation. Can you suggest which field of data is good for me? Database creation. I even know database creation of SQL. Okay, fine. So Rohini, I think as you're finishing your BCom, I think one of the things you will be able to learn more in this course will be on the data side of it, how well you can get the data analytics understanding, and how well you will be able to solve business problems. With the BCom background, you will be able to solve more problem in the financial sector. It could be your financial sector, banking, it could be your insurance, it could be something else also. A big demand of people in insurance sector for people to solve the problem. It could be underwriting problem, it could be fraud detection, it could be getting more customers, it could be any combination of those. Which other skills and tools I have to learn? So Rohini, when you are going through this course, you will learn all the things which are required. This will also include SQL, this will also include Python, this will be enough, and then Power BI. So whatever you do, you will be taking data. Data comes in a CSV, which is comma separated value format, normally open in Excel. So you will learn those basic in Excel. Then you will be going through getting the data into MySQL, which is the database. Then you will be using Python to access those, build some output and all. Output will be available, which you can deploy and then get it done, or you will go to Power BI and then use the output. So you will be learning all of those as part of it. Graduation in tourism, but not a shortlisted for them. My graduation in MBA, but not a shortlisted for same. Okay, I don't know where you did not get shortlisted, but yeah, if you already done graduation in tourism, the data for the data is available in this area as well, then what all things people can do, what is the best way for people to get aspire to get into those area, including the tourism and all, what months, what dates, and what do people normally do, what is the target segment for those regions, and how can you create the package which works for everybody. All those things will be able to do as a hobby. You can do it. Not everything will be taught in the class, but of course you have to use it in the specific domain. Okay. Tools, we talked about it already. Shardul, Excel, Power BI, there will be MySQL, Python. Some of these tools will help you get there faster. Okay. Ravi, yes, third year electronic student is a good. This is a good timing, so that in the final year, when the recruitment happens in the month of September or October this year, when you get into final year, you will normally, yeah, September, October, November, December. Normally in that period, by the time you have enough knowledge to be able to crack the interview and get into data in any of the good companies. Okay. Now, Paridhi is asking the question, how business analytics is different from marketing analytics. So, Paridhi, the business analytics is a broader domain, which includes marketing analytics, healthcare analytics, insurance fraud analytics, anti-money laundering analytics. It has hundreds of parts, right? These are all one particular solution. Underlying is again the data analytics. So, data analytics, solving any particular problem. Overall, it's called business analytics. Why? Because business, you are solving business problems. So it's always a combination of those. So marketing analytics, you are actually, marketing is also business, right? You are actually finding out what kind of offers work, what time of the day it works, what is the conversion rate, all those things you'll be able to find out through this. Okay. Third year BTech computer science, confused between data science and data analytics. What should I choose? Jay, I think even if you choose data science or data analytics, right? Data and science is which will include little bit more than data analytics. So data analytics will be a good foundation for you to start with, and then you can go for data science. So the course data science is normally much longer course, because there's a lot of machine learning part comes into picture, which you will learn eventually. But here in data analytics, you will be able to learn how to solve a particular problem with data analytics. Okay. Yeah, good to start with data analytics. That's the right answer, Ravi. I like solving problems. So Jay, if you like solving problem, just add one more point here. I like solving problem with data. Okay, which means you're solving the problem, but not solving problem because you said so, because your personal bias or because of something. You're solving problem because the data says so, right? So you'll be able to learn those part. I'm a team leader with 16 years experience. How do I start? So Kirti, if you're 16 years experience, I think even more now, right? You might expect your team members to know data, your team members to analyze data and all, and you could be leading that. So I don't know if I mentioned this on the call. I did my MTech recently from BITS Pilani. This was when recently, 4 years back, I did my MTech. So for me, the purpose of doing MTech was I want to be able to coach my team. I should be able to answer the question, and I should be able to ask the right questions to the team. So yes, with 16 years experience, Kirti, you will be able to get more respect when you ask the right question to the team, and then you can bring this element that yes, let's do some more insights with data, and then help our customer, help our team do more with the data. Okay. How to build resume, Ram? I think the resume part is straightforward. On the resume, focus on what you know, what your skills are, and primarily focus should be what is your outcome. For example, if you're writing a resume, of course your name should be there, your phone number, email address. Don't waste time in putting your address. Nobody's going to send you a postal email there. So don't put address, don't put your details about what your father does, mother does, not required. Start with that, then focus on summary. 3-line, 4-line summary of what your experience is, right? Highlight what you like. You may have done XYZ work, but if you don't want to talk about it, don't mention those. But highlight the work which you really want to do. Next comes your achievements, professional achievements, the awards you have got, some of the success stories you have. You don't need degrees or certificate for every achievement, right? Even an email is fine. Even if you think you did something good and you got some good kudos from people, mention those. 5 to 7 awards, achievements and all. If you're a fresher, you may not have enough, but that's fine. You might have done something in your college, right? Mention those parts. Successfully conducted this workshop, successfully organized this event, and then these many people attended those. You can do this combination part. Amazing output you will get, right? So do this part of it, and then come to the next part, which is your professional work experience. So summary, professional summary, professional achievements, and work experience. In the work experience, you can put details. Remember, details should not be a job description. It should not be like what a job description you just copy paste. It should be what you have done, what was your contribution, and it's all tied to the results. If you do that part, I can tell you, you will get good job. And of course, the course, degrees, you have done data analytics course, you have done this course, that course, job makes your perfect resume. A gap in education, Akshay, yes, matters. If people have choice, matters. But if you're able to explain that very well, definitely it will help. But yeah, it's a fact. There's a gap, there's a gap. Nothing much we can do there. So don't worry about it, right? But yes, if you're getting 100 opportunities, you might get 20 opportunities. Fine, but it's still there, right? But you have to be able to tell them why the gap was there. I'm completing my graduation in arts. Can I enter data analytics as a fresher? So first of all, what was Shailaja? What was the reason for doing in arts? If it was certain passion you wanted to do in arts and all, fine. Then why are you changing it? Go and do the career in arts, right? But if you want to come in data analytics, have a good reason for that. You should be having passion for mathematics. You may not be perfect in mathematics, fine, but you should have passion. You should be open to learn. If you're open to learn, this will do wonders to your career. I can tell you that. Okay. Job opening for BA degree holder in data analyst. Shailaja, is not about people holding BA degree or BCom degree. People knowing data analytics, they will get a job, right? But yes, if you have BA degree or BCom degree, people might have one more question and they may ask a little bit more probing question to see whether you are really ready for data analytics, considering you are doing a BA. But imagine if a marketing company want to hire somebody, they would not hire a BTech or BE person with the data science. They'll hire a BCom or a BA person with data science. If a music industry, if a movie industry want to hire data analyst, they'll hire a person with arts background, with the analytics part, right? So they will be able to hire you thus. I see another question. What will be the duration of the course and all? I think AccioJob can answer those questions. Work in the product management is MNC. How do a course is going to help me grow PM? Suvendu, the product management, I don't know if you remember the slide which I showed. Product manager job is getting more and more focus in India. If I look at 20 years back, hardly anybody product manager in India. 10 years back, maybe few. Now the demand is very, very high. Last time I checked, it was 24,000 job opening in product manager in India. People who can think, who can visualize how the product is going to be built. But if you are building anything, we talked about Uber, Ola, Flipkart, YouTube, we talked about everything. The product manager building the product, coming up with the idea, need to have idea with data. So if you are with data product manager, your demand is very, very high and you can validate those. If you search for product manager, you find out at least 70% of the product manager job requires data. So you will be doing very well as a product manager with data experience. Okay. I was selected in Cognizant as fresher after my degree, but it's been a year they haven't onboarding and now learning data science, looking at a job in that. Okay, so Terry, yes, Trey, yes, the market situation is a little challenging. So I hear a lot of people are having some challenging onboarding is delayed for a lot of people. But yes, good that you're not sitting idle. Good that you are learning something on your own so that you are more employable, both with the current company where you are and the new company which you might be looking out for. Make sure your profile is strong. Initially, I asked this question like on the LinkedIn side, right? You should be able to promote yourself. So look at it, how many connections you have on LinkedIn. Increase your number of connections and then keep posting that you have done this course, that course. So your job becomes easier for you to get. If you're thinking that I'll wait for that one fine perfect day after 2 years and then I'll get connection, no. You should get connection now. You should build a connection now so that once you finish the course, you can leverage the connection for the jobs. Okay. Degree BCom completed. So Sai, definitely if you have already completed degree BCom, definitely add data analytics course on top of it so you can get a good job on top of it. 2 years job in Java developer, switch data analytics, craft my resume so I don't have the relevant experience. So Sri, you don't have relevant experience because you're done Java developer. So I would say if you already decided to move into data analytics in your current job, see what are places you have access to data. If you can put some ideas, if you can build some analytics around those, that will be good. Especially after going to the course, you will get those learning. You will be able to do something. Your profile become much, much stronger. Experience, as I mentioned in the beginning, you don't have experience. But I can tell you, enough people are hiring fresher. Okay, 50% of the people in the company doing any job are fresher. right? So 50%, I think you will be able to get it. Yes, after doing the course, if you don't market yourself, you will not land into good jobs. But yeah, if you market yourself and everything, you will definitely get a good job there. Okay. LinkedIn certificate preferred to put on in resume. Why not? Yes, Ravi, you should put all the certificate here. See, I'm not saying the certificate will get you the job directly. No. But certificate helps you get visibility. You say, hey, the person is learning continuously, learning new. For example, when I did my MTech, I didn't do MTech just to get a job because I was already doing a good job and so on. But when I do this part, people say, no, Mukesh is doing continuous learning, which always matters. Completed ETL data warehouse testing course, but could not give my interview in company. Every company asking for sectors like this. So, Shaileja, I would not agree completely that every company only want BE, BTech, MTech, and all BSc, MSc. Yes, there might be some company who ask for this. We hire a lot of BCom, BA, a lot of other things also in my company. So definitely there are lots of company like us who does that part as well. But yes, when they have choice, they will always go for BTech, MTech. Yeah, then somebody should have done BTech, MTech, right? But do we have enough opportunity? Do we have enough people in that area? Not enough. But then if you think about it, a BTech person with data analytics skill, the cost will be very, very high. Compared to a BCom with data analytics, the cost of the salary expectation will be much, much less. So I'll always have this combination that which one I should hire, right? It's a fact. Nothing much we can do in this area. So you can research and find out what is the option available. So opportunities are there. You just have to crack it. Even when I look at my company, like so many people, even doing very well in technology, BCom background, BA background, data analytics, I see more success stories from BCom and BA rather than other fields. Okay. Okay, should I learn and then look for a job? Okay. So Trey, I would suggest do the course. While doing the course, update your profile, start making activity, start making people know that you exist. Once the course is complete, do the mock interviews. Once you're comfortable, only then apply for job. No point applying for job right now. Okay, I think I've answered most of the questions. Let me see, some more questions are there. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. Yeah, how to get around the experience criteria that most of the company ask for? So, Masum, there's a simple answer, right? So, for example, if I want to have experienced person, I want to have experienced person. For example, if I'm setting up something new, I would like to have experienced person, period, right? Once I have the experienced person, then I'll hire 4 junior people, 6 junior person. And that is the time I'll be looking for freshers. Fresher with data science experience, data analytics experience. So that's how it works. So nothing you can do. But the other thing you can do is while going through the course, you will be exposed to some industry examples, industry projects. Learn those religiously, learn those passionately. Then see where all you can apply in your current job, in your other jobs, wherever you can apply. If you do that part, that's how you can get around experience. And then don't say that, hey, I've just done the course, I have zero experience. Say that I've been using data, I've been doing something on the data analytics side of it sometime, and then I did a formal course. So yeah, I would say probably less than 1 year experience I have, but I'm doing this only. So people will see that. Nobody is saying that, hey, did you have a title of data analyst? No, I was a software engineer, but I was doing data analytics also. So I think do this combination part of it. Don't lie, of course. I don't want anybody to lie, but they should be able to showcase some of your existing experience on data analytics. Okay. Ravi, you can find out. You can search my name on LinkedIn. You will be able to see my profile there. What other question? Rohini is asking a question. Does Capgemini recruit interns when they are pursuing their graduate? If yes, then what month they will recruit interns or internship? So Rohini, we have a standard process. Most of the interview, everything happens in the month of September, October, November. Most of the colleges and all the interns and full-time employees are shortlisted at that time, and then they go through the internship. Internship will happen throughout the year, depending on what months normal students are available from the college to do internship. Some of them are 1 month, some of them 2 months, some of them even 6 months. So we do this regularly. Okay, Aman is asking question. Does Capgemini hire developers from AccioJob? Yes, of course we do that as well. What else? Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. We still have a few more minutes. Any other question you have, please put that in the chat window. Looks like you have exhausted all the questions, or I have answered all the questions. Okay. Okay, I see one person. Aman have put up. Gen Z is the most confused generation. Um, I don't know whether I use the word confused. I would say I've done analysis on Gen Z and millennials, by the way. So I can say Gen Z is more direct. They want to try everything. They want to try and then decide what they want to do. So that is what I would say Gen Z is. I will not say confused, but yes, they need more reasoning compared to Gen X. Gen X is normally like people, my generation, and after that is not considered Gen X, and Gen Y is millennials, and Gen Z is what you might be following into. I have both the person in my family. My daughter is a Gen Y. I'm a Gen X. My daughter is Gen Y, and my son is Gen Z. So we have multiple generations in the thing. Even though my difference between my daughter and my son is only 5 years. Which skill and tools are used in data analytics and back and learn? We talked about already. Okay, fine. Aman is asking, what is your CTC? Okay, fine. I can put that number, but then it's not going to be useful. So I'll not put that number. Any other question? We have 3 more minutes. Aman is trying. पूछने में क्या है ना? Seriously, Aman, huh? Okay, guys, quick summary. So what you learned today was data. What are the possibilities with data? We talked about some example, and I can guarantee you from today onwards, whenever you see things around, you'll be thinking, "Oh, ye data aisa hua, ye data aisa hua." In English, this is the data. This is how these people are working. You will be able to also use it in terms of what models to be used and so on, and you will be able to get into career. You saw what the careers are, and then any question you have, that link is available from AccioJob. You can please go through the link, request a certificate, so you get certificate of the course you have completed today, and then also if you have any question, you can reach out to them directly. Okay. Should go distance opening first to learn. Okay, one last question I'll take. We are almost, and then I want to give it back to Gurtej. Want to pursue data analytics? Should I look for different jobs or just focus on learning? Trey, I think you should focus on combination. You should focus on learning first. While learning, practice, and then you'll get the job easily. That's what I would say. Thank you very much. It was nice interacting with you. Very, very interactive session. A lot of you were there on with me on the chat. I loved doing that. Gurtej, back to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the valuable time you have given to our audience. So, once again, thank you so much, sir. And a special thanks to all of those who are watching and being such a lovely audience. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy learning. And we have shared the relevant link in the comment section as well. If you're looking for a data analytics course, yes, we have shared the link. Just go through that, be a part of it, give the test, check your potential, get into the cohort. And the certificate link is also there. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.